Some business owners make six figures a year and still don't know if they're paying themselves too much or too little. By the end of this video, you'll have a real amount to base your pay on, one that holds up whether business is booming or slow, instead of guessing. Hi, I'm Janie with Sturgeon Bookkeeping. If you want to stop guessing about what you should be taking home, please subscribe. Let's start with the two ways this usually goes wrong. The first is paying yourself too little. You started the business, you're doing the work, and somewhere along the way you've settled on an amount. Maybe it was survival mode for year one. Maybe it was just what felt safe at the time. And then you never changed it. The business grows. What you're paying yourself doesn't. You're doing more, generating more, and still paying yourself like it's day one. The second is paying yourself too much or too unpredictably. There's money sitting in the bank, so you take some. Big month, big withdrawal. Slow month, you take a little less or take the same amount anyway and hope it works out. There's no real plan, just whatever's available whenever you need it. Both of these are common, and it's worth thinking about. Neither one is being decided on purpose. Both are just happening. So why does this happen in both directions? Well, underpaying yourself often comes from a good instinct taken too far. You don't want to hurt the business, so you keep taking less than you're worth, treating your own pay as the thing you pull back on first when money feels tight. It feels responsible. But if you wouldn't ask an employee to work for what you're paying yourself, you may want to rethink this game plan. Overpaying usually comes from a different place. For a lot of owners, this business is their only source of income. When your business bank account is the only place your paycheck comes from, taking more than the business can spare doesn't feel like overpaying. It feels like you're paying your mortgage. But that's exactly where it causes real damage down the road. Every extra dollar you take home today is one less dollar the business has to buy materials for the next job, replace a piece of equipment when it breaks, or survive a slow month. And it's one less dollar available for the self-employment taxes you owe at the end of the year, a bill a lot of owners get blindsided by because they didn't set enough aside for it along the way. Owners want their business to succeed. They just haven't been given a plan for how to budget their own paycheck. So let's build one. Before we get started, keep in mind, how much choice you have to set your own pay can depend on how your business is set up. If you're a sole proprietor or a single member LLC, the common setup for a lot of solo owners, you're free to decide when and how much to take. This is usually called an owner's draw. But being free to take the money doesn't mean every amount is a good business decision, which is exactly what the rest of this video is about. If you've set your business up as an S-corp, the IRS requires you to pay yourself what's called reasonable compensation, a real salary through payroll before you take any additional profit out. That's not optional, and getting it wrong is one of the more common ways S-corp owners run into trouble. Which bucket you're in and what counts as reasonable for your role is a conversation for your CPA, but you need to know the requirement exists before you assume you have total freedom here. Okay, so whichever bucket you're in, three things determine what you can pay yourself: what you've earned, whether that money is in hand yet, and how much to keep as a cushion. These three things matter more than anything else in this video. Let's take a look at them one at a time. First, what you've earned. That's your net profit, the bottom line of your income statement, also called your P&L. It's what's left after all the costs of doing the work and running the business are subtracted out of your revenue, what you've earned from your customers. Net profit is a better starting point than your bank balance because your bank balance can be misleading. Some of the money in the bank might already be spoken for. Taxes you're holding, a bill you know is coming. So a healthy looking balance doesn't always mean healthy pay. We look at net profit averaged out over 3 to 6 months, not just 1 month, because every business has good months and bad ones. You don't want your pay changing every time your sales do. Second, whether that money is in hand yet. Earning it and having it aren't the same thing. If you've done the work, but you haven't been paid yet, that unpaid amount sits in something called accounts receivable, money you've earned but haven't collected. Now, we go deeper into this in another video if you want the full picture. Your net profit could say $80,000 while your bank balance says $900 because a big chunk of that profit hasn't landed yet. Before you pay yourself, check that the money is in your account, not just that you've earned it on paper. Number 3, how much to keep as a cushion. If you've paid yourself down to the last dollar of net profit every month, you've got nothing held back. And one slow month means you can't pay yourself at all, or worse, you're pulling from money the business needs just to keep running. That cushion isn't to make your bank balance look bigger. It's there so a slow month or a late paying customer or a piece of equipment breaking down doesn't suddenly mean you can't pay yourself. Now put those 3 things together and here's your real number. Net profit averaged out over 3 to 6 months after making sure the money is in your account minus the cushion of a month or 2 of expenses. What's left is what you can count on. So here's how you put this to work. Let's walk through it with real numbers. Say your net profit has averaged $8,000 a month over the last 6 months. That money's fully in hand, and you've already built up a $4,000 to $8,000 cushion. Instead of paying yourself the full $8,000 in the great month and far less or nothing in a slow one, you land on a steady number below your average, say $6,000 a month. That leaves about $2,000 a month of breathing room. Some of it keeps your cushion topped off. Some of it covers the months that come in under average. You're not guessing at $6,000. You're building in room on purpose. Pay it consistently, like a real paycheck, whether you feel like you've earned it that particular week or not. Then any profit above that amount is money you can take out too. Just don't count on it as part of your regular pay. Use it for a bonus, a big purchase, or paying down debt, but don't build it into your monthly budget because it won't be there every month the way your set amount will. Now, there's a real benefit to the consistency beyond just what the business can afford. Your own personal budget gets predictable too. Instead of wondering every month how much you'll be able to take home, you build your household around an amount the business can genuinely support. And when a month brings in more than usual, treat that as an extra, like a bonus, not permission to permanently raise what you're spending, because the next month it might not bring in the same. Revisit that amount once or twice a year when you're looking at your numbers anyway. You don't need to become an accountant to do this. You just need a system that's better than checking your bank balance and hoping. And there's a reason you're able to figure out how to safely pay yourself and your business at the same time. Books that are caught up and accurate. When your net profit is accurate, the pay amount you build from is something that you can trust. If you want an easy way to track this, I built a free 1-page scorecard that tracks your net profit and cash on hand side by side, month to month. Exactly what you'd want in front of you before setting or revisiting your pay. I'll drop it in the description below. So before you decide what to pay yourself next, ask yourself 2 questions. Is this an amount I can sustain even in a slow month? And is anything extra coming from a real, calculated profit, not just because it's money sitting in the bank account right now? Remember, that balance can be misleading. Don't let it be the reason that you take out more than your net profit supports. If you can answer both questions, you're not guessing anymore. You're deciding with numbers, not with hope. That's the same skill behind every other decision on this channel. Hiring, growing, pricing, paying yourself. Read what your numbers are telling you, and the right call gets a lot clearer. That's what this channel is about, and it's what we'll keep working on together. I'm Janie with Sturgeon Bookkeeping. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.